What is going on? I'm Zedmod, code Zedmod, creator boost. You know the drill. Warships, where we left off yesterday, was not going super duper well. This account was falling down into 18. We're now cruising on up. Suddenly that sea of red has been cleaned up a little bit. What I did, first and foremost, I went back and got Grenadiers. I figured, you know what? I don't want to use tanks anymore if I don't have to. The other option is rocket choppers, which I have on a different account. Let's go get Grenadiers, and so far it's been paying off in spades. Don't have heavies, don't have that troop health. Went ahead into 5 engine rooms without that damage amplifier on my last chest. A, I got the damage amplifier, and B, I maxed my rocket launchers. So keys doing great things, tokens doing great things. I copied this base off of somebody. I think everyone's got like a very similar take on this base. I copied this base because it didn't have the damage amplifier and didn't have the fourth rocket launcher. Now I've got all that stuff. I'm getting bunch of engine rooms, getting all engine rooms. BB, by the way, I believe they were #1 in New Zealand. I'm now climbing back up that list. Love to see names I'm to recognize. BB, I'd never talked to you before. I don't remember seeing you on the leaderboard, so well done this season. We're going to show you what I'm doing. It is straight up flare. Don't forget that flare. It gets your troops to not go so far off that landing craft. You see these Grens down here sitting out of harm's way. Then we're just hanging on for a little while, making sure that we have rifles coming out whenever there's a possibility that our Grens are going to get hit. You'll also notice that on the dirtiest of dirty bases, I'm only using 3 boats of Grens, 5 boats of clone rifles, and then just slowly pumping them out, using some explosive drones to try to get rid of things like shock launchers or rocket launchers or whatever the heck it might be. So lots of things going on. I know that people are shouting Super Warriors from the rooftops. I am not there yet on this account. My other account should be there pretty darn quick, but we're going to focus on Grenadiers for this one. And same sort of thing against So Cold. We managed to get a 4 engine room base. Same thing. There's no need to drop anything right now. If we pause right there, machine guns, flamethrowers, cannons, none of them range Grenadiers. So don't rush your Grenadiers. You don't have to drop them. You don't have to bring out any sort of clone rifles yet. And then as soon as we start to think about getting anywhere near that sniper tower, you see that I am going to bring out those clone rifles. And then the same sort of thing on this side as we start to get over to that right, as we use a flare. So using flares a little bit, actually a lot bit more frequently than I was with tanks, getting our Grenadiers into the right sort of spots, using those yellow critters. Maybe I'll just call them yellow critters right from now on, because I just can't say the words crystal critters properly. And then just clearing through all of this stuff without a heck of a lot of difficulty and just cruising on through, clone rifles out front. Against 4s, I'm using 5 boats of Grenadiers. Against 5s, I'm using either 5 if they're those long spread out bases, or 4, or even 3, depending on how filthy the bases are. I'll show you BB's attack against this base. I'll call it I was going to say not call it my base, but it clearly is my base. They're using that flare. BB, I would recommend using a flare on the cannon. That way your troops anyways, same sort of idea. The dead flare on the building working better in my experiences, but then they're trying to get back there. Against these kind of bases, I don't go back there. I stay in here, so ignore that back stuff. Nobody cares about that back stuff. I'll try and show you an attack that I've done on one of those. I think, let's see here. Is this one of them? Nope, that's not one. We'll skip that. And then, by the way, my base fully standing on its head in a big, big way. That one I just oh, did I lose that one? This person retreated, and I just dropped my troops thinking that I would win no matter what, and I guess I did because I did a little bit of damage. Just got 1 engine room, then ignored it. So what do we got here? Here we go. This is the bases. This person doesn't have rocket launchers. Obviously, this is going to be an easier clump base, an easier front-loaded base. And you see, using our rifles from the middle and dropping them on that diagonal so that you son of a... Okay, screenshots continue to cause problems for Boom Beach for whatever reason. So what I'm doing here, I'll show you this right here. Come on, getting back in there. Let's go. Come on. Drop some troops, Mr. Z. There we go. So what we're doing is dropping our troops here and then flaring there. That way we get this diagonal coverage of our wonderful, wonderful clone rifles. That gives us more protection against this one and against this stuff shooting in. Highly, highly recommend using that flare. And then as they start to get closer, we drop our Grens in that corner. Grens in that corner are going to have all sorts of clone rifles out front. We don't need to drop any more clone rifles. Do be careful when you drop clone rifles. Seeing people drop way too many clones. You only need one boat at a time for the most part. And then ignoring all of that stuff in the back. Don't need to concern ourselves with it. Just pumping more rifles out and trying to stay along that front wall. It's not pretty. We've only got 3 boats of Grenadiers and then just trying to hug that wall. And the fact that those clones don't follow flares makes hugging those walls way easier, because it's not like with a regular attack on like Mega Crab where you flare back and then everything on your flank gets absolutely crushed. Because those clone rifles stay in place, it works out wonderfully as we then hide in this corner and get all of those engine rooms. So let's get in. We'll do a live hit or 2, hopefully hitting 20 for the first time. 2 wins is 20. So I don't have high hopes that that's actually going to happen. And these attacks, by the way, I am not going to be showboating here. There's no showing off. There's no stunting happening. It's just going to be me going slow and methodical. My base has not been cleaned yet, I don't think, so I don't have to clean their bases. I just have to go decent, just have to be good. And that's one of the good things about going the defensive side of things. You don't have to be perfect. And then of course, we get someone with 60% defensive building damage and the damage amplifier and 4 rocket launchers. So this is going to be something, my friends. We shall see exactly what we can do here. We are going to get you, again, that diagonal flare, getting those rifles on a bit of a diagonal, and then we're going to go something like this. And I'm going to do something a little bit new and a little bit stupid. We're going to go like this and just try to send all of those things back there against that rocket launcher. Would love to get rid of that rocket launcher just like that. Come on. How good was that? We now have gotten rid of that flank rocket launcher. Don't have to worry about that nearly as much. Things are looking good. I am quite excited about that. That is the first time I have done that, but it will definitely not be the last. Looking to try to nullify that back section where they're trying to get that rocket launcher to just crush your troops. And so far, so good on that. I love that. I will be definitely looking to either use that or improve on that. I don't know exactly how we can get that any better, but the fact is we've gotten rid of that flanking rocket launcher, which should do great things for us. Now it's just a matter of trying to get rid of the next rocket launcher and the shock launcher. Easy way to do that, of course, is to drop those explosive drones back there and have them rush forward. Would have been nice if they would have hit that rocket launcher a little bit better, but we're looking pretty darn good here. I like that a lot. I said I wasn't going to be stunting. By the way, we had a player in Triangle 9 named Stuntin'. Beast of a player. Miss that dude a ton. One of the few people I follow in real life. We're looking pretty good here, though. We should be able to get at least one of these engine rooms down. That's all we need for the win. There is the win. Now it's just a matter of trying to get all... And by the way, I've retreated a bunch, or I just force quit at this point because the attack's over. Our opponent isn't spectating probably shouldn't be force quitting. I feel a tiny bit bad about that, but if you force quit, your opponent can close the spectate and then come back in and not have to worry about it at all. As we move our troops dead center, 60% defensive building damage, max rocket launchers. I am calling that shot back there. This, where I threw this back here, that was frankly amazing. We're calling that, I should have a name for that, like the Z Bomb Drop 2.0. Scarecrow. I am 90% sure that I copied this base off Scarecrow. I forgot who the player was, but Scarecrow, yeah, I'm 99% sure I copied this base off Scarecrow. So to beat the base that I copied is pretty darn sweet. Thanks for the base, Scarecrow. Good game. GG. I still get weirded out when kids shake hands after a game and they say, after a baseball game, soccer game, and they say GG instead of good game. It makes sense, but it's still strange. Let's go. We're going to do one more. This is going to be the last hit. Either we get into 20 or I lose. Oh gosh, that is not ideal. They have 100% defensive building damage. Their back rocket launcher is far better protected. So we are going to be in a world, an absolute world of pain here. Okay, same deal. You got it. We're dropping from this diagonal, and then we're going to get these guys over here right about now. That should give them a bit more leeway than when we don't have that on the fact that we've got that short range machine gun, or flamethrower I should say, on that right hand side. We're gonna have to get some more clone rifles out here fairly quickly, but I don't think, oh, there we go. Let's get, too late on that. Little bit late. I was trying to save some troops, and look how terribly that one mortar shot did us. We got absolutely pummeled by it just by me trying to save a couple seconds. So this is not looking good. The fact that we're up, was it a 22 or a 21, whatever the heck it was. You saw what happened there. Without that troop health, we are just getting absolutely crushed. The mortar taking out troops in one shot is just painful. Like, that hurt so much. And as a result, we are 99% likely going to lose this battle. But I feel like I showed you guys some good things with Grenadiers, showing you the numbers using 3 boats of Grens. I never ever would have guessed that we'd be using 3 boats of Grenadiers. This season has been rated by some as the worst Warships season ever. I don't necessarily agree with that yet, but maybe that's because I'm getting engine rooms and progressing. Would love to hear from you guys. We are about to get crushed. I think they might only get 1 engine room. We'll have to wait and see. But let's retreat. Let's not waste our time. Let's see who we're up against. Osama, a 22, coming in from the back with that rocket chopper. And these rocket launchers are going to end this attack. I don't think Osama's going to get a second engine room. If they do, I'll be very, very impressed, because as you can see there, that rocket, those, oh, they are, come on, get it. I like that. Well done. Hey, I've already lost. They might as well get a couple engine rooms. We lost 2 stars, but more importantly, we lost that win streak, which was giving us 15 stars for every single win. Matchmaking, my friends, it is not super duper good. This person, again, 90% defensive building damage, but look, no rocket launchers anywhere in sight. That is going to be huge. I learned very quickly there, though, we need to keep away from mortars. Those mortars are going to be death to all of our troops. So we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. I'm going, ooh, do I dare do that? No, we're still keeping that flare on that mortar. I was tempted to flare that, what is that thing called? That cannon, but that mortar, those mortars are just so darn dangerous that we can't risk having anything happen to those guys. So we now are gonna clear this a little bit. Definitely keeping an eye on that mortar a little bit more this time. Should be good. There we go. So we got all of that front cleared. Now we can just let those clone rifles die. The next thing we have to worry about is that sniper tower. Until that sniper tower goes down, no worries whatsoever. Sniper tower just turned towards us perfectly. So let's get this out here. Let's get you to do some clearing back there. And then, of course, we're going to send some more rifle dudes into this left-hand corner. Flaring in there. Those clone rifles should get out front first. We are going to be a little bit extra cautious with some of those wonderful, wonderful explosive drones as we try to get things in here. Will we fizzle? There's a very, very likely at this point. This season has turned into the utmost fizzle meta, and I am not a giant fan of fizzle metas, but some of you like them. I do not, because not many people out there have instant training. I would love to hear the percentage of players, and I don't think it's terribly high. And if you don't have instant training, this season is just an absolute train wreck. Now, if we can get rid of that mortar right there, we should be able to sneak on in to about here, trying to get as far as we can from that shock launcher. I'm not sure if we can get out of its range as it absolutely crushes us. That might have been the wrong decision on my part, but I'm thinking there is going to be a little teeny hidey hole we can get our troops into. I just need, of course, the one guy steps out away from the wall. I'm going to bet that there's a spot where one Grenadier would have fit if we would have been able to get him flared over into there. We didn't make that happen in time, though. Percentages, Chewbacca. What do you got for us? 53%. We picked up the win. I want to just double check to see, was there room for one Grenadier against that wall? It's debatable. Probably not. Anyways, that is going to be it from me. We are so close to 20. I will be in 20. Maybe not when we come back, but I will be in there. If you have a look on my profile, I'm at 200 attacks. Win rate pretty good. So far, our highest is 74 out of 80. I've been putting way too much emphasis on being at my highest rank when the videos start. I don't think that's important. And so I'm going to try to get into 20 as soon as I end this video. If I get in there, that's an extra chest, which is going to move us forwards towards GBE, towards that building damage, towards that building health. On this account, I'm going to be skipping those super warriors for the moment. We shall see just how that goes for me, though. Anyways, as always, do check the cards. The cards, I'm trying to give out a Boom Beach t-shirt. I might even give out a two t-shirts, depending on how many likes and comments we have. Also, do make sure you got code ZMOD in that shop. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm ZMOD. Peace.